What up, peeps? Oh boy, it's been a minute before I popped the video up in here. So I wanted to, I've been doing a lot of studying, a lot of working, and a lot of things have changed. Like my perception has changed a lot, concerning a lot of, concerning court processes and how to deal with a lot of stuff that we've been doing, like processes that we've been adopting and applying to our situations. And we, there's a whole lot of fighting and wrestling that we've been doing with these people. And I'm really kind of, it's coming full circle now for some reason for me. It's coming full circle. We've been talking about, I remember briefly speaking about subrogation in one video, and been talking about tenders and stuff like that, and how, for a couple of years back, maybe late 2022, something like that, maybe in summer 21, I was talking about trust law and how everything that they're doing in the courts is all, they're operating in trust, dealing with trust. And I'm coming to understand that a lot of the processes that we're adopting, like take for instance, I'm here in Georgia, and I got a process that I would apply to a situation, and I'm one of those people that I sell processes on the internet, got thousands of subscribers, followers, different platforms or whatever, and I sell it to you. You live in North Carolina, you live in Wisconsin, Connecticut, all these different states have different, they may all apply. Like when you look at the definition of a statutes, you'll learn that like the statutes are all, it's a compilation of the different laws. You got consumer law, equity law, trust law, you got the acts, like the Cesta KV Act, the Bill of Exchange Act, you got all these different acts and different code, different things that apply. Uniform Commercial Code. All these things are all applied in each state. All 50 states, they all do them. Okay, they adopt these different compilations of laws and acts and bills and stuff like that. And when they adopt it, they all have their own process to how to apply it in that state. So if I do a process that's required, is required for me to do it here in Georgia according to the Georgia laws, there may be a similar process in your state. Gets the same results, but it's a different way that they may go about it, doing it in your state. And when you read up on it, look, use the keywords, to find that topic in your state statutes, you'll find that there are different processes that are available. In your state may have a certain process pertaining to a particular subject matter that's different from what they require us to do here in Georgia. And so if you're doing something a certain type of way, the way I'm telling you to do it, I'm selling you a process. I'm selling you a one-size-fits-all process, and then I'll give you a disclaimer saying everybody may not get the same results and all this different stuff. But it also encourages you, makes you, in the same breath, I'll be encouraging you to buy my process, without actually encouraging you to look in your state statutes to see what process is available for you to apply that particular, to get that result concerning that particular process. It's easy for me to make money off of you when I'm selling you a process, because you believe in me and you believe this might, this Emerald right here, he pretty straight up, and he like to, we use any excuse to follow people. Like somebody can use one law, maybe one law, one act, and they'll read it just like a Bible. Just like, take for instance, you got a pastor in a church, they'll read one scripture in a whole book. They'll take that one book, find one chapter, find one scripture out that one chapter, read that one scripture, make a whole sermon, preach a whole sermon from that one scripture. And that scripture may not even be talking, that whole chapter may not even be talking about what he's talking about. And he just turned it into something different, manipulated that scripture to make it say something that it's not saying. And this is what happens a lot. Take, for instance, when you look at, like I mentioned this in a previous video, Minnesota Rule 220, Rules of Practice 220. You read that entire thing, you will not see authenticate. The word authenticate, you won't see it nowhere written in the whole thing. So where do we get applying authenticating the birth certificate from that? Where do we get that from that? Who added that? You know, who told you to follow the Minnesota rules of practice? If you don't live in Minnesota, who told you to follow that? If you live in a totally different state, who told you to follow that? But when people continue to regurgitate things for years at a time, and they continue to adopt these things and knowing that it's profitable because it can easily make somebody a few bucks. Like somebody hit my, inbox me real easily, and I give my email address, and they tell me they need some help on something. They desperate for something. I tell them I can sell them an affidavit or some shit. I done made a couple $100 already just from an affidavit. They don't even know what the fuck them do with it for real, but they done lost that money, and I done made money off of somebody being desperate for some information and too lazy to read up for themselves to find out what they need to do. They don't know where to read sometimes, but they won't let their conscience be their guide either. We got the same spirit, not really. You get it. We from the same creator, So you have that ability to find things, to find the answers just like we do. That's what I should have said. But the thing is, like, I'm learning that a lot of things that we're doing, we're just kind of regurgitating and following people without reading for ourselves. And the answers are really simple when you take time to see what your state has to say about that topic. I'm doing things. The thing is, a lot of the things that I'm doing, that I've been doing for the last few weeks, actually, I've been doing it on the private side, so to speak. And I don't talk about, I don't make videos on them because I'm moving. I'm still working with it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to, speak presumptuously. I rather execute, and let you all see the results once it's done. Because a lot of times people, people try to use anything to try to, shut down somebody's credibility. I show y'all what the laws say all the time. But then when they say, oh, Enro's got a child support, he got a child support order filed in his court case. Oh yeah, he been exposed, and all this old dumb shit. As if an order in somebody's court case means it's over. If that's the case, why y'all fighting to get off child support if it's over? It's all about, if you choose, what are you gonna do about it? Is somebody gonna railroad you? You gonna do something about it, or you just gonna not do nothing? What you gonna do about it? So, you only lost when you stop fighting. So if you don't fight at all, you do shit about it. You just complain about it, bitch, and complain to your baby mama. You pleading with her, and you rather do that and not even try to learn nothing. Don't try to do nothing. Don't hold the people accountable who are actually trying to railroad you. You don't do shit about it. Then yeah, you lost then. But the order alone doesn't mean it's over till you stop fighting. Back to my topic. A lot of the things that we're adopting, it tells us, you got to create a trust, you got to get a TDA account, you got to move the straw man inside your own trust, you got to get a 9-8 number, and a lot of this, the vast majority of that shit is really unnecessary. It really is unnecessary. It really is. I'm sure I'm not. Hopefully I'm not the only one to say that. A lot of that stuff is very unnecessary. There are things that people have, adopted along the way while they're learning. And the more you learn, the more you realize a lot of that shit is really unnecessary. You say you're the grantor. You're the beneficiary. You say that public officials are trustees. We can read things on there. We can read certain materials that substantiates those claims. But How do you know? How are you a grantor if you're not walking in it? What does a grantor do? What does a beneficiary do? Like, understanding the office of these titles, understanding those titles, and you're also understanding what subrogation is. Like, some people don't even know what subrogation is, but we're talking about exercising our right to subrogation. Let me touch that for a hot minute, and I'm gonna get on off here. I've been trying not to talk too much, but fuck it, this shit is out here. Okay. As you all know, I really want to add this video that I found on TikTok, and it explains it so much better than I do. I'll probably go ahead and put it at the end of this video, but I'm explaining it in my own words because and hopefully I don't fuck it up. Public officials, those are public trustees. We know that. Okay. They play the role as if, like, they create implied trust in the courts, pretending as if they are so-called grantors and beneficiaries of these court cases. They try to switch roles and make you a trustee so that you are the one that has to do all the work and deal with all the debts, take on the liability. But if you are supposed to, on the private side, you're really the grantor. When we sign our signatures on stuff, on these documents or whatever, those are the things we monetize these documents. Those documents are negotiable instruments. I'm gonna give y'all a small nugget. Look up in your state statutes, look up the definition of a negotiable instrument and then get your child support order. And compare it, the details, the way it's described, what a negotiable instrument is. And see whether or not your child support order is not a negotiable instrument. You just got a nugget just then. That's homework. Go look that up. Don't just sit here and look at this video and just think you just going telling everything. You gotta be willing to read. Look shit up. Type in negotiable instrument followed by your state. See if it describes it. Even look at Cornell University. Look up those things. Look the document up. Look up the Bouvier's Law Dictionary, Black's Law Dictionary. Look that term up and compare it with your child support order. By definition, is your child support order a negotiable instrument? And if you're not the trustee, then why are you not acting as the grantor? Why are you not acting as one? That's where subrogation comes in. Because if you're not the name, you're not the straw man. You're the one that's supposed to be using the straw man to conduct business. So what you're supposed to be doing should be on the private side. That's where the living dwells. Everything on paperwork, that's all commercial. But you're supposed to rebut that presumption of acting as me or being the trustee, that being the all caps name, the legal name. They're making that the trustee, but trying to put the liability on the trustee, the all caps name, but they're also attaching your body to it to make you, tricking you to thinking you're supposed to perform as the straw man. But you don't rebut that presumption. And that's supposed to be done on the private side. That should be done on the private side. Then look up endorsements. Look up endorsement. Look the shit up. I ain't talking about E-N. I ain't talking about E-N-D-O-R-S-E. Not endorse, that's not the type of endorse. Endorse is when you endorse with your signature. That's I-N-D-O-R-S-E. Endorse. Endorsements. Study those two terms, negotiable instruments and endorsements. Look that up. You get a chance to look that up. Okay? got a feeling I probably might be talking a little too much, but the fuck ever. There's many different ways that we should be using this arsenal. These different things that, to be rectifying our situations. You also that actually kills the argument. Once you learn that, once you learn how to make them put them to work as fiduciaries, because they are actually trustees. You got to put them to work. If you don't put them to work, then the implication that they are grantors and beneficiaries, and you acting as the legal name, the trustee, it continues to stand. Because they're going to try to railroad you anyway. They're going to always try to railroad you. They need to make that part illegal, but he who fails to assert his rights have none. So another thing I talk about in my previous videos, where you talk about construction of statutes. You might want to look that up too. There are laws in every state that requires the officials to interpret the words that they're using, the terms and the words of art that they're using in their paperwork. Anytime they communicate with the people, there has to be a meeting of the minds, and they never interpret the words in plain English. There are laws in every state where it requires them to do that. Some states call it, construction of statutes, and it should be in the very first title in your state. Most likely that's where it's going to be at, But if you don't respond to it, if you don't do anything about it, they're going to move forward as if they, especially if you just answering their paperwork as if you already know the language, and you really don't know the language. We spend a lot of time trying to study these terms. It's like we got a contract that's got us bound some type of way, that's written in Japanese. We don't know Japanese, but we're going to sit here and try to learn Japanese in order to get off this contract. That's not our job. Our job is not to try to learn their language in order to get out the contract. Their job is to interpret the language, because they're the one that brought the claim against us, brought us out of our private capacity to do business with us using a language that's foreign to us. They have laws put in place that requires them, it requires them to interpret what it is that they're saying, so that there is a meeting of the minds. But if you don't know these laws, they exist, they're in your state. They're in your state statutes, all of them. Look them up, and you can use those to your advantage. If you choose to do the paperwork with them, that's on you. I prefer to look up the subrogation part of it, especially if you're already on child support, because there's no argument with that, Also, another thing, y'all can what they call is I want to go get that damn thing out of the house. It's called a subpoena. You can actually subpoena these people. Like, y'all spend a lot of time talking about, trying to get these judges and attorneys, getting people to, doing open records requests, trying to get them to bring the tax forms and all the different IRS forms and, bonds, stuff like that, all the bond information. What they call them down, GSA bonds, oath of office, these different things like that. You can actually subpoena those things. You gotta, you can say, most people know how to set up, get a hearing started, get one scheduled. You can just find out the judge's schedule through the county clerk's office and file in there, whatever days are available, and you will find out in your state statutes, in your state, to find out exactly. Call your state, the county recorder's office, and find out what do y'all need, what process they have in place for you all to get on the schedule. And you're trying to get a hearing in there, you can actually get a subpoena from the county clerk's office. It's a little small. I wish I should have brought one in here. I actually got a couple of them. I bought 2 of them. They're only $5 a piece, y'all. $5 a piece. You know, I called up there as well. That's a partner of mine. Shout out to my partner Omar. He called him on 3-way, and he was like, "I'm trying to get a subpoena. What can I do? What I got to do to come get a subpoena from up there?" And the lady was like, you just come up here with your court case number, and she say, "Are you representing yourself or you an attorney?" He's like, "I'm representing myself." And he was like, "You just come up here and just bring the case number with you, and and we'll give you one. It costs $5 at the office, at the desk, at the front desk." I'm like, that damn simple. And I went right on up there. About 10, 15 minutes later, I walk up in there and I tell him my case number. And it was like, the lady was like, is it for production or for witness? Like, you can subpoena somebody to come be a witness for a particular, to testify about something. Or you can subpoena somebody to produce evidence, documentation or whatever it is that you need. You have the right to have those records if they pertain, this situation is concerning your situation in your court case. And I just went on up there, gave her the case number. She wrote on the thing for the defendant, wrote my court case number, asked me for $5. I gave her $5. I'm out the door. That's that damn simple. And the thing is, you write on there what it is that you want. If it's a long list of shit, you just attach it. Type it on up and you attach it to the subpoena. Fill in the date and time of the hearing. It's a fill in the blank. I wish I should have brought it out here. I'm coming from the gym, so I'm not like on riding around with court documents in my car. It's in my house though. But it's a fill in the blank form. It's about that. It's real short, like a half of a 8x11 by half of that. That's about how long it is, and you can have it served to them. Have it served to them. And when you have it served to them, they know they got to bring those documents. They got to bring that. And that document, the subpoena has a number. Because they have a copy too. They give you the white copy and they got the yellow copy up under there. They keep that for their records. So they are aware that they issued you, a subpoena is a court order. So they got to bring that shit to court when you serve them. Might want to do some research on that so you can learn more about a subpoena. That's how you're going to get that information you need. So I'm like, if I'm doing what I'm doing and they try to get some pushback, then that's going to be last resort. You know what I'm saying? But bottom line is, Mike ain't going to lose no damn case. I'm going to keep going till I get that shit shut the fuck down. So so I'm just giving y'all some different things you can actually use, in your arsenal. You know what I'm saying? But these are things a lot of us not even aware that we can actually do. But to kill the arguments, subrogation, if you understand subrogation, I don't see how the fuck you can lose with subrogation. But anyway, I'm gonna get on off of here. This thing is over 20 minutes. I wasn't expecting to be that damn long. I thought I'd make a quick video, kind of tap in, kind of give y'all a little heads up on what I got going on. Not gonna talk a little too much. I'd rather once I get them results that I'm looking for, and then I'm gonna show it off to y'all then at that point. So I'm gonna shut the doubters up. Y'all hold it down. See y'all in the next video. M Rose signing out.